On Capitol Hill, Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez says she'll file articles of impeachment for Supreme Court justices as soon as next week.
So in a post on social media, the New York Democrat did not specify which justices she will include. In her statement, though, AOC said the Supreme Court has become, quote, consumed by a corruption crisis beyond its control, end quote. This move comes in the aftermath of the Supreme Court's 6-3 decision regarding presidential immunity, which found former President Trump could have partial immunity in some of the cases against him. Ocasio-Cortez did not say if the articles will be privileged. If so, the House would be forced to consider them within 2 legislative days.
We begin with Judge Jeanine Pirro, the 5 co-hosts. Judge, great to have you here. I've been watching you throughout the morning. First, I want to get your reaction as we do continue to hear from members of Congress, as obviously the political fallout of this we have yet to fully see. She plans to file articles of impeachment, Judge. Here's the tweet. Throw it up on the screen. The Supreme Court has become consumed by a corruption crisis beyond its control, she writes. Today's ruling represents an assault on American democracy. Now it's up to Congress to defend our nation from this authoritarian capture, she writes. I intend on filing articles of impeachment upon our return. To you, Judge.
You know, Sandra, whenever anyone on the left talks about an assault against democracy, you know that it has little, if any, meaning. That's their go-to line when they don't have a substantive argument. Look, our government is set up in a way that there are 3 branches. The Supreme Court is a branch that has final decision on legal decisions in this country. They are not willing to accept it if it doesn't align with their political ideology. And this is part of the institutional breakdown of our government. We are now in a scenario where the left and the people who call themselves progressive are not willing to accept a 6-3 decision by the Supreme Court. But make no mistake, there have been administrations, there have been politicians who have been in disagreement with decisions for the last 150 years. But now, all of a sudden, they think they should be able to impeach a Supreme Court justice. Look, a lawyer can be brought before the grievance committee for trashing a Supreme Court justice. And the sad part about all of this is there is a final ruling in this case. Their hatred for Donald Trump, their political ideology that causes them to support someone ideologically or cognitively declined is something that they consider paramount, and they're willing to do anything to destroy our system.
But for the presidency itself. But here's President Biden last night giving a rare primetime statement from the White House.
Today's decision almost certainly means that there are virtually no limits on what a president can do. This is a fundamentally new principle, and it's a dangerous precedent. It's a terrible disservice to the people of this nation.
And he was echoed by Senator Schumer and Blumenthal and Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, basically calling the Supreme Court disgraceful. Blumenthal said, "My stomach turns with fear and anger that our democracy can be so endangered by an out-of-control court." I mean, really, honestly, what is the difference between yesterday's ruling and the previous 248 years of our country's history?